Hi, I'm Cora Cristobal, founder of Toronto Women's Club. And here I am with.
Hey, I'm Sunil Tulsiani, founder of Private Investment Club. I'm so happy to be here with you, Cora.
I'm so happy to be with you again, Sunil. And you know, the science of getting rich that we are doing right now, I am recalling 3 years ago, about 3 years ago, you told me, Cora, this is a good book that I want you to read. And this is hard. It is not easy to understand. And I want you to have a look at it. And I'm thinking to simplify it. And maybe you can do it with me. And I got hold of the book. I read it. And I didn't like it, to be honest, because I read it only once. Because I was very busy. I did not have the time to really dig into the book and really go over and go over again. I did not have the time. So I did not appreciate the book. And 3 years passed, and now here we are with all the time in the world because we are locked down at home. And we agreed, hey, this is now the best time to look at it again, and maybe we can rewrite the book. Why don't we simplify it and improve it and put in our feedback and our favorite quotes and all that kind of stuff, right? So you know what, Sunil? I read and read and read and read, and I did not even notice the time. I missed eating lunch and dinner because I was just fantasized by this book. I'm really so engrossed with the book that I'm telling you, this is the book that if there is only one book that you can afford to read, this is the book.
Wow, I love it. Well, I'm glad that you like it because, again, like you said, I read this book long time ago, and I said to myself, how do I make those 100 millionaires that I want to, and multimillionaires that I want to make? And of course, your goal is to empower women. And so, as friends, as partners, as the mentor-mentee relationship, I said, who do I want to do this with? And obviously, I decided to do it with you. And I said, gave you the book, and I said, you read it. And I totally understand. Not only you, I gave that book to like maybe I would say over 50 people because you see, any book that I like, I buy them in bulk and I give it to my friends. So I must have, over the last several years, I must have bought 200-300 copies of this book and gave it away at my seminars and things like that. But I decided, when the problem was, people didn't understand the book. It was small, but it's very hard to understand it. But when you do understand it, it's really, really powerful. So I'm glad you're doing this, Cora. I appreciate you doing it. And I personally have studied this book more than 30 times, and we attended seminars, and we're masterminding, and we're doing a lot of stuff to immerse ourselves into a book like this. And of course, for the people who have the book, this is what we did. We first said we're going to rewrite it, and then we decided we're going to do it this way, we're going to do it that way. And what we decided was that how do we write this book so that it's completely different from any other versions that you may have seen on the planet? How can we do this? And finally, we came up with this idea. The idea was, we put the original chapter, then my version of what my feedback, my thought, my quotes, and most powerful points would be in plain English language. And then the same thing for you, Cora. Right after that, you would have your version of that chapter in plain English, and your point of view, your powerful point of view, your favorite quote, and all that kind of stuff. So we are so glad that we're starting this project, and that we're so happy for you to be with us, because what I want to say to you is that we did everything. We must have, we're estimating that we would have put 500 hours of each of our time from start to finish a publication of the book, and making these videos and doing everything of our time. And the purpose is we want to help people become rich, and this is the best book for you to do this. I would say it would be the top, if I had to put it into top 5 books for sure in becoming rich, this book would be that. So I'm really glad for you to jump into the introduction of the book. Go ahead, Cora.
Yes, so in the introduction, these are the main points that I would like to discuss. This book is a practical book.
Yes.
It is not theoretical. What that means is this is based practical, that is applicable to your life, and the way it is written comes from the real life experiences. So Wallace Wattles lived every page of the book. He himself became rich and died a very prosperous man in 1911.
Yes.
Just like any other rich person, have undergone through some tough times and failures. And you and I also are adding our own life experiences on how we rose to the occasion from being poor to becoming rich, and how we got to get there. So we have our inputs, we have our feedback, and our extra bonuses. So all of these are practical applications to today's life, right? So that is what we mean by practical, because we can put in all the theories, and if we do not show practical applications, it's very hard to use them. So that's what this book is about. They are all practical applications and not theoretical, to make you really make use of it. And number two is second point that I would like to say is this book is intended for people who want to get rich. There are people, Sunil, I am surprised why some people are not dreaming to become rich.
There are people that consciously tell me that they want to get rich, and then there are people who say to me they want to get rich, but then their subconscious mind or the next words they say would suggest that they don't like money, or money is the root of all evil, and all that kind of stuff. So this book is not for them. This book is not for people who don't want to be rich.
Yes, so this book is intended only for people who wants to be rich.
And mainly what he's talking about, of course you can use it for anything else, but mainly he's talking about financial rich. So if your focus right now is to become rich, that's why you need to listen to this and read the book that we're doing and watch these videos.
Yes, and the next point that I would like to say is you have to believe on the teachings of the book, because if you read it and you do not believe it, it's not going to work.
Okay.
Just like anything. So you have to believe on the teachings and the book and take action without fear, doubt, and hesitation. Because we are going to discuss more in detail about this faith as a prerequisite, as a part of the formula, right? So having faith is part of the formula. And here we emphasize that you've got to have faith in order to really become rich.
Thank you. All right.
And lastly, the title of the book is The Science of Getting Rich. Getting rich is a science. I didn't know that before.
Yes.
Although unconsciously and unknowingly, you and I, we have implemented some of the teachings and principles of Wallace Wattles without even knowing it, because we got to know this book only around 3 years ago, but we have lived long years already, and we have been using them without knowing that. So we have lived it without even knowing the principles. So this, the science of getting rich is an exact science, meaning to say, just like mathematics, algebra, or any math subject, 1 + 1 = 2. And if you do all the formula, it is impossible, or almost it is impossible not to get rich.
Cora just wants to give you guys so much value because she's going into the stuff that we're going to learn in the future. She's got so much knowledge about this book, about the mathematical formula. So you guys are going to learn that, and she just wants to add so much value. From my point of view, I mean, look, everything you said, Cora, makes sense to me. And the point here is, it's a practical menu for you to become rich. It's not an essay or report on theories. Okay, it's not one of those things. Even though it may seem like it, it's not. And if you need to believe, basically, and have faith in the science of getting rich. And if you follow what they're talking about in this book, he says it's impossible to fail. I know it's very strong. That's what he's talking about. It's impossible to fail. And then if you want to study philosophical theories and all that stuff, he's got some of the names that you can read in the book, that you can study them, especially Hegel and Emerson. You can study those people as well. But for him, what he's saying is, look, if you want to become rich, and you want practical way of becoming rich, read this book. And if you want theory, you have other people to study. And he talked about this Hindu origin idea, which is that all things come from one thing, or one source, or oneness. That's the important part to understand. So as the book goes on, you'll understand what he means by that. And then, like, it's been tested. The stuff in here has been tested. And so if you follow the system, you will get the same results. And as you read this book, it will change the way you think about money, think about all that kind of stuff. Do you have any feedback or powerful point?
So my feedback is this book is intended only for people who wants to be rich.
Got it.
The very title indicates this is the science of getting rich.
And do you have a powerful point?
Yes, it is science of getting rich is an exact science, and failure is impossible.
Love it. I love that. Okay, so and this is the way we're going to do it. And if you have the book in front of you, please open up. We talk about our point of view, then we talk about our feedback, we talk about our powerful point, and then we talk about our favorite quote. And then, of course, after that, you're going to be able to, the next page, you're going to be able to put your aha moments and your quotes and what you learn and all that. And there's some questions that you can, just for fun, just fill those out. And then that way, hopefully, it will help you a lot. Well, that way, it will help you a lot. My feedback is that, for me, I've studied this book more than 30 times. And of course, even before 3 years, Cora, I read this book before several times, but studied it after the 3 year when I approached you, because I liked the book before I brought to you. And I agree that this is one of the most powerful books on making money. This is without a doubt. And this book seems to be the actual real guide for many, many gurus, people that I follow, people that the trainers and all that stuff. They've been using this since 1910. And so that's my feedback. And my powerful point is, if you want to get rich, read this book and do what it says.
Yeah, I love it. Exactly.
And your favorite quote?
I already said, right? It is science of getting rich is an exact science, and failure is impossible.
And so everybody, that's exactly my favorite quote as well. I mean, by the way, you'll hear this throughout the book. We are actually studying the books independent of each other and making our own notes separately. And the fact that our favorite quote in here is the same, you'll find that maybe 3 or 4 chapters, our quotes are same. So the science in this book is the exact science, and failure is impossible. We look forward to spending this time with you guys throughout the whole book. It is going to be a lot of fun. You're gonna have and our goal is to take something that is very complicated and simplify it for you, and make it fun for you as well, through reading the book, through watching this video, and also listening through your audio. Take good care. Thank you, Cora. I look forward to seeing you in chapter 1.
Chapter 1, the right to be rich.
All right. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye.